Good evening and salutations, my soap opera fans. So, tonight's statement is what is tonight's statement? No, I have it. It should be there. The day I gained respect for Kyle Abbott when he told that chick he was done. Oh, Claire, the look on her face was just priceless. It was like the chef's kiss. Let me tell you something. That episode is going to stay on my DVR for a long as goddamn time. Oh my god, I'm gonna watch it before I go to bed. But we're here to talk about a lot of soaps and be really cool when I get some YNR people. But I got my GH people here, so we're gonna sit there and talk. Let's see. Amy H is in the chat. Krista is in the chat. Blackmon, aka Mr. GQ, is in the chat. Sean is in the chat. Cherry Ice Cream is in the chat. Yes. I love the intro. I love the intro. I mean, this intro is flat as shit. Ronnie Ron's in the chat. Cherry Ice Cream's in the chat. Sean said GH was brutal. GH was something. Darby is in the chat. Crystal in the chat. Hope everyone had a good day. Finish drinking this shit so I can have my real drink. Beyond the Gates was not on today. B&B was actually good. I'm doing good, Black Mon. I'm doing good. I survived today, and it was very, very, very busy. CK's in the chat. I like when Kyle told Claire he was done. He was like, "I'm done." She was like, "What? What does that mean?" What the fuck is wrong with you? It was like I literally sat there and said, "What do you mean?" Was 1 second, Ron? She literally sat there and was like, "What does that mean?" That means that I'm focusing on my family, my company, and everything like that. So listen, we had some fun and everything like that, but it is what it is. And he walked out, and like she wanted to say, she was just like, I mean, she literally sat there and just was delusional enough to think that she was going to be stringing both of these men along, and I just sat there and said it to her face, and it was just fucking great. Okay, Ron says, what do you think about Brady confronting Kristen and also Rachel wanting to tell the truth about her being responsible for shooting her Uncle Egypt? It's kind of a like very broad question. What think about it? I mean, um, it's nice that he actually retracted his statements. He felt like an idiot. He should have felt like an idiot. You know, he realized that she was doing something good, and he felt kind of stupid for it. Rachel wanting to tell the truth is like, yeah, I mean that's good for her. I still think she belongs in juvie, not some fucking like damn near day spa. But I also didn't say that much. So, yeah, to answer your question, yes, Ron. Where's my music? LaShawn, where'd you read that from, LaShawn? Where'd you read that from? Where's my music at? Ooh, here we go. Facebook? Okay, yeah. Okay, all right. So if it comes from, okay, let me tell you something. If you read something that comes from Facebook or Instagram or anything like that, like if it's not by the actual, if it's not by actual General Hospital, like the official website or the actor, then don't believe it. Okay, don't believe it because those channels are known. Those profiles are known for doing clickbait. I had somebody. I'm probably going to sit there and reread it today. Reread it later on. But there was some sort of AI channel or bot channel um, that said that Anita was leaving Beyond the Gates, which is not true, by the way. But I saw so many fucking retards at the bottom was like, no, this breaks my heart. I can't believe she's reading. I can't believe she's leaving. I'm like, I can't believe you idiots are actually believing this shit. I mean, it was clearly probably like a foreign channel that was using like a AI American accent to sit there and say it's a faceless channel, and all they were there, all that channel was for clickbaits. What's good, Jay Blue? I'm not trying to like get on a rant to like get on you or anything like that, but people read that and they read it from like yeah, Sean, but I mean, still, let's not let's not give what I'm saying, like let's not give um credit to anything that they sit there and say unless it comes from the actor or the GH website itself. Eagle. He also said same McCall is alive and Anna finds her. Oh, that's rich. Eagle said finally Kyle tossed Claire's attention seeking self to the dumps. Family first always. Did you see Eagle? First of all, that's going to that episode is going to remain on my DVR for a long ass time. Okay, I need a drink for this. I mean, I need a strong drink for this. LaShawn said, I just Googled it and they said that Cameron Madison is leaving General Hospital. Goodbye, Drew Kane. Did anybody else hear what I just said? Or, like, like seriously, 1 second, Ron. Did anybody just hear what I just said? I feel like I'm talking to a fucking void at this point, right? I mean, unless I'm like really asleep or something, right? What's good, Gee? It was a nice thing. It was a nice thing. It was a nice gesture. Thank you, Sean. Wow. Will Michael betray and give up his love for Victor Newman? I don't see it. I think Michael loves the excitement of Victor being angry at him, giving him orders much more. Isn't that like some like dominatrix shit? Thank you. Well, thank you, Ron. That's LaShawn, you certainly know how to make me laugh. Michael loves being dominated by Victor Newman more than his own smoking hot wife. She is actually pretty hot. And yes, now I would like to sit there and say that they have a father and son relationship, but Darby says Cameron leaving would be the worst thing to happen to the show in a long time. The showrunners would be crazy to allow him to leave. That Jill has that Jill have had PTSD with. Man, that whole thing was fucking awkward. Let's be honest. Yeah, that's great, Ron. Um, but I don't know. I haven't went on his channel in a while, Ron. But yeah, I mean, my whole thing with Kyle has always just been like this bratty mate. Molly is like a 13-year-old trapping a 35-year-old. Yo, that shit was so fucking stupid. I was like, what the hell am I? I was like, what am I watching? Honestly, tell you the truth, I felt like G's decided to just put out anything. Like literally, they just decided to put out anything. I didn't even bother to sit there. Ron, relax. Let LaShawn talk. Okay, that's what we're not gonna do. But I mean, like I said, this episode was full, and I got to a point I just said, "Fuck the notes." I'm just gonna sit there and just go off the cuff because, like, CK said Michael is going to betray Victor and help the Abbott, but he'll be back in Victor's good graces and February sweeps. There's another thing. Now, Eagle says people say Drew is the worst father in daytime history. Clearly forgot about Victor Lord and like living what he did to Vicky her entire childhood. No one can top the worst father after him. Um, Alistair Crane can from Alistair Crane from Passions actually can, but yes, and honestly, and thank you, Eagle. Yes, I just answered you, Ron. I said it was a nice gesture. It was a nice gesture to make up for the one he smashed. Well, I mean, Crystal, yeah. Like I said, if LaShawn wants to sit there and believe a rumor, then that's on that's on LaShawn. Like I just literally sat there and said the importance of not going online and reading, this stuff that um that isn't verified, and apparently, you know, she just decided to say, fuck that, I'm just gonna. And thank you, Darby. Hit that goddamn like button. Thank you. Thank you. I gotta hit the like button too, but yeah, please, people, hit the like button because it actually really does help. We're gonna do one thing. Yes, hit the like button because it really does actually help. And I'm gonna do that right now. I'm gonna hit that like button. We got 21 people in the chat. I swear my phone is just being stupid on me on purpose and not caring. Okay, so we got 8 likes and we got 20 people in the chat. So yeah, hit the like button. And Dana says Kyle chose to chase after Claire. Yeah, then he woke the fuck up. Darby said, "Did you notice that when you hit the like button now, it clicks like a movie?" Yeah, yeah, I've noticed that too. Yes. Now, CK said, yes, Alistair Crane is a tie with Victor Lord in the worst, what's good, Domex, in the worst father category, but Victor Newman is not exactly father of the year. He made his own daughter arrest. Yep, he got his own daughter arrested on her wedding day, yes. To Billy, yes. Yes. And yes, thank you, CK, because you watched Passions. I fucking love that show. Holy shit, I love Passions. And what's good, Queen of the South? How you doing tonight? It's good to see you. Yeah, listen, Alistair Crane was a fucking. I mean, that guy was a monster. Michael Cambias was also a monster from All My Children. So I said, yes, I fucking love Passions. Holy shit, that show is wild. You know what it is? It's like I said, they knew where they stood. They weren't going out there trying to be superstar, winning super awards and all this other stuff like that. They knew where they stood, and I appreciate them like leaning into that. I mean, no, that's definitely bad. Alistair Crane, well, he raped some people back in the day and like steadily throughout the show. What's good, Big Nate? YNR and B&B was actually good. YNR and B&B was actually better than GHZ. Each you can say Miss Lawrence is a terrible thought. That's true. Yeah, I hope you had a good Merry Christmas as well, Nate. It was such a good show. People hated on it at the time, but they had a pretty solid cast. They did. They did. Listen, I can acknowledge the cheese in the show because, like, the show definitely had its cheesy moments. Okay, its cheesy moments, its campy acting at times. You know, I think that's what oddly. You know what that reminds me of, Domatics? It's like it's like anybody is like if you ever heard of the Asylum movies, right? Like Sharknado, for example. Sharknado know, you know what I'm saying? Like they know how to like lean into like the cheesy stuff, you know? And people like those movies as bad acting and bad special effects and everything like that. They knew how to lean into it, and it it works for them. Um, yes. I mean, like, yes, at the end of the day, a lie is a lie. It's the degree of the lie, right? Like, Rachel didn't lie. Rachel didn't know. Um, I do think that Sarah should have had some sort of resentment towards Rachel. I don't fucking care if she was a child. You should have had some resentment. She should have had some resentment with her, right? But she didn't. Brady not saying anything about the whole shooting thing. That's not as much of a big deal as a man that they're beating another man nearly to death. Like the degrees are a lot different. Dominic said, "Yeah, nothing wrong with campy. It's an entire genre. Some of the best shows and characters are pure camp. The past actors were in on the jokes. Yeah, I mean, like I know campy doesn't work for everyone, so like I get that, but like that was like they leaned into that, and I think that's what made the show so fun to watch. Like the character Timmy, I swear I know that like it wasn't supposed to be funny. Sometimes when he would talk and he would just overact and overdo all this stuff, but for me, I would laugh my ass. I would watch. I would laugh like they had this. They had this really short guy. I know, and that's the thing. Like that's what kind of like annoys me. Like I understand it from. Well, I mean, I don't. I'm not a mother or anything like that or a parent, so I'm never gonna sit there and get that part. And I think that's where there's always going to be a disconnect. I mean, I stand by my feelings, but it is what it is, and you. Yeah, no, and exactly. That's what I said. Like, I know what you're saying. Like, it's more of a mother daughter thing, even if that's not her biological daughter. Like, she wouldn't be upset with Victoria or have resentment for Victoria or anything like that. So, like, I get that part. Yeah, sure, sure, Ron. So, yeah, but yeah, Jerry. I like I said, I just. Ugh. It is what it is. It just, I guess also it just bothers me at the fact that like, Rachel try to kill two people. And we're still going to say, oh, little Rachel, she's a child, and she deserves love and protection and stuff like that. I was like, what about the protection of everybody else in Salem? I mean, she shot her uncle, she poisoned Sarah, and we're just sending her to a fucking day spot? Like, what are we doing at this point? It was like Sophia when they kept saying, "Well, Sophia's young and she was scared," and it was like, "Nah." What Sophia did was she nearly ruined a man's reputation. I'm not going to sit there and try to act like as much as I don't really care for Johnny. And speaking of people who I don't care for, when is Lonnie and Eli leaving? When are they leaving? When is their last day? When is that going to happen? Oh, thank you, Gunn. Yes, you also helped hold Ava hostage. You're just going to sit there and just send her to a fucking day spot, like Danny Bear 87. That's a good question, LaShawn. Two people, EJ, I remember, but who was the other person she tried to off? Sarah. Yeah, she tried to kill Sarah and EJ, and she also held Ava hostage. We just at this point we just need to send little Rachel to fucking um bad parenting, Ron. Bad fucking parenting. J Blue says I watched a Christmas movie with William Julian with Terry Hatcher. I didn't know he was Canadian. Oh, I didn't know that Terry Hatcher still acts. Now, I heard rumors, and I mean strong rumors. Terry Hatcher could be difficult to work with. Yes, there is snow here as well. It'll be snowing all night and throughout most of the morning. And people are losing their shit, and they're going to the stores. They're going to the supermarkets and buying shit like it's like they're gonna be snowed in for days. I swear, whenever people hear snow, they act like the biggest fucking retards they've ever seen. Who will say this just proof that Christians should have never gotten custody? Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, he held him in a crypt, but there was somebody else who was watching too. So there's another mastermind behind that. They do that your way. I thought that was just a sudden. No, that's that's just a that's just a retarded way. Bread, eggs, pop. Yeah, like Jay Bruce says, humans never cease to amaze me. Remember Y2K? Yeah, I do. Yeah, people act like fucking nut jobs. Yo, okay. So I had to go get a soda, and I was watching these General Hospital. I was like, you know what? Usually, sometimes what I do, because General Hospital could be a lot. So I would go to the store. I would sit there and think about the story so far and my thoughts or whatever, just to kind of get a better grasp. Because sometimes, like, it could be a lot, and I will sit there and take a minute just to absorb everything. Like, I'll take like maybe a good 5, 10, a good 10 minutes to sit there and absorb everything. Yeah, but see, the problem is, Danny Bear, is that they go and they start buying so much shit. They buy. Listen, there's nothing wrong with buying a certain amount of stuff, but like they start buying everything. They start packing up in the stores as though they're going to be snowed in for 2 days. Okay, Ron. I disagree with that, but you've been saying that for like I don't know 40 times or whatever. So I'm not even going to bother to sit there and try to like even debate you on that. So yeah, sure, Ron. Whatever you say. Um, for Snowflake and Inch at the supermarket I worked for years and got mad at them mad at themselves later when they find the snow wasn't so bad. I mean, I just I get annoyed when people get fidgety, when people get like anxious and they get attitudes and stuff like that. Like, why am I waiting in line so long? I was like, how about you calm your tits and just sit there and just wait it out? Like, you ain't gonna be trapped in your house forever. Calm your tits. You're doing too goddamn much. That shit just annoys me. Like seriously, Sean, like that shit just annoys me. I mean, listen, the money is good, so I'm not gonna complain about that, but like I can't deal with like over anxious people. Act like they're gonna be trapped in damn like it's gonna be like an apocalypse and they're gonna be trapped in the house for like 3 days and shit. Was Dr. Rolf involved? Susan Soham come come from the secret room, yeah. Yeah, that did happen. It doesn't snow here often, so stuff can shut down, so buying some food. Oh, so stuff can shut down. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I guess it depends on where you live. Like out here, things don't shut down. Like it'd be huge 10, 12 inches, and they won't sit there and close the store for like a good couple of hours. Sean said, "Did you get it on with the hotties and with the time off and Blade Runners 2020 2050?" Yo, I'm not gonna lie, like that program be making some badass chicks though. Like I'm not gonna lie, they be making some badass chicks. I mean, no. And you know why? Because Dr. Rolf is a person who does not have patience. And Susan is a person you need to have an enormous amount of patience with. So, like, if they were drunk, sure, but the minute that they sober up, no. They close the schools at the mention of snow. Okay. So, yeah, I guess things are a little bit different from you then. Yeah, I can see what you're talking about. But I tell you this much, so Sean. I'm I'm working on season two for the Blade Runner series. I'm working on season two, and it's good so far. I got another show. I got a couple other shows before I get to season two, but like I'm working on season two. Like yesterday and saying, it's gonna be good, Sean. It's gonna be good. Oh, I think you'll like the next series that I'm putting out. Like I'm not gonna lie, I was kind of impressed. I was like, yo, after I put out the videos, I'm like, yo, I wonder what's gonna happen next. Like it's that good. I mean, yes, it's a shame there's only like 10 seconds, 9 seconds long. That's one of the drawbacks to it. But like when it comes out good, it comes out good. I think the person in the glass is Theo's mom, Dr. Renee Carver. Hmm. I mean, the thing is, people keep saying they're trying to tease that people keep saying they're trying to tease that it's Stefano, right? The way that EJ talks, like when he's in that room and he talks to who's ever in the glass or whatever, it seems like somebody he's familiar with. I don't know how familiar he was with Lexi. What's good, Tommy? Who is those two people that always show up 4 times a year on dates that no one cares about? Yeah, that take up oxygen in space. What's good, Amber? That take up oxygen in space. Every time they show up, they have nothing to offer the show. Why do they show up at all? Um, they're they're fan favorites. You like Mr. Shepperton? Yo, let me tell you something, Tommy. Mr. Shepard actually gained my respect, Tommy. Mr. Shepard gained my respect. What's good, Francis? Hey, listen, when you're here, you're on time, Francis. So I appreciate you. She was too much, but I'm not gonna lie. Part of it was like Audra Smith there dancing on Danny Bear. That's Lonnie and Eli. Lonnie and Eli. I don't know who the other people are that Eagle was talking about. Unless Eagle's talking about Jack and Jennifer. But I know the two people you're talking about, which is Eli and Lonnie, and they don't do anything. They come on a show and they do nothing. They do absolutely fucking nothing. But the thing is, here's the thing: they were on the show before I started watching, right? And he apparently, yeah, that's exactly Eagle. Yeah, I'm talking about you're talking about Eli and Lonnie. But who was you said four people though? To do what exactly? Why we hate on Eli and he used to be they used to see that's thank you. They used to be. But what were they needed for? Like seriously, what was they needed for? See, this is okay. This is, and you know, I'm glad that you actually bring this up, Danny Bear, because here's the thing, you and whatever. Danny Bear has watched this show longer than me. Okay, so when Danny was watching the show, they had interesting stuff. There was interesting stories, so they made for compelling characters, but they haven't actually been compelling characters in a long time. So the only reason why they come on a show is for fanfic. And that's again, that's great for the people who watched it back then. Had yes, they had some great stories, and that's why she likes when they're on. It's a fan favorite thing. But if you haven't, you know what I'm saying, like if you just came into the show late, you're not gonna really know or really care because they don't do anything now when they're on. That's why I sat there and said like they're on when they need to be on. What do they need to be on for that? To sit there and put decoration of an ornament and do a sing along? Like seriously? And see, Eagle, this is why we always sit there and have that joke where I just get to the point I get tired of some soaps. I'm like, you know what, fucking, I'm just gonna make my own damn soap opera. I'm just gonna make my own soap opera. 28 people in the chat. Yes, hit that. Thank you. Thank you. 29 people in the chat. Hit the like button, please. I think they're trying to keep them active because of the twins. The Horton family is big on twins, and they gave birth to the only Christmas born Hortons. But yeah, they do nothing for the show now. They come on, they put some decorations or whatever. They don't actually do anything for the show. It's a tradition. But it's nice that they keep it just another show. See, Danny. Okay, let me just tell you something. Danny is Mrs. Sun. Danny is Mrs. Sunshine compared to me, which I love. I love it. Danny is a fan. She is Mrs. We should sit there and call her Mrs. Sunshine. That's what we're gonna sit there and call Danny. Baby. We're gonna call her Mrs. Sunshine. Well, Lonnie is no longer a cop, but Eli, I understand. Lonnie is not a cop anymore. Remember, she went to jail. She can't be a cop anymore. But they ain't doing anything that's I would sit there and say is interesting. Personally, they're just on to sit there and like Danny Bear said, keep tradition and sing and breathe and take up oxygen in space. And that's pretty much what he did. But, you know, it works for fans like Danny who watched it. They don't do a goddamn thing. So, well, not actually see all four of them, but Francis says, have you seen Chris, aka Jack Horn, getting killed off? Oh, do I think they're good? Or Francis, do you mean do I think he's gonna get killed off, or oh, do I see? No, I don't see him getting killed off. I just don't see it. You know why, Francis? Because I feel like most of the times, like with these soap operas, they're kind of afraid to kill people off. Like I feel like unless the actor or an actress have pissed off somebody, or they're too lazy, they're not necessarily gonna like you know they're not gonna necessarily kill them off. I don't see it. I don't see it. They're really like American soaps are usually really afraid to sit there and kill people off. Listen, she no, listen, Danny Bear is well, she's very positive, and I like that. I saw it on Soldier. She said he wanted to leave. I think. Okay, well, friends, just keep in mind when it comes to a Soldier, take her, take her theories with a grain of salt. I was just sitting there telling somebody else in the chat who just decided to say, I'm just going to believe this rumor, right? Jay Blue, let me tell you something. If I was living there and that dude kept doing that, I would move out. I would like seriously. I would seriously just move out. There's no way in hell I'm going to let anybody make me feel uncomfortable in my own house or the place I'm living. But that's the thing. Somebody was there saying that Drew is leaving the show. Like, where'd you hear it from? And they're like on Facebook. I'm like, Facebook. You know what I'm saying? Like they're known to sit there and tell lies to get you to click on their page for views and whatever engagement. Like unless you actually hear from the actor or an official statement from the show, take it with a grain of salt. I just my whole thing is what I don't understand, like CK and CK um why is he continue to live there though? Like seriously, CK, would you live in a place? Would you live in Windermere if he was doing that? What do you think about Sonny visiting the accused mansion at Monica's house, even though Gio is there now? I mean, it's cool because technically it's not Monica's house anymore; it's Tracy's house. And if Tracy's cool with it, then I don't see a problem with it. Yeah, I don't see a problem with it. It's Tracy's house now, and that's the problem, Jay Bloom. Like he's a person that will sit there. And that's the problem. He's the person that will sit there and complain about it, but then won't do anything about it. I'm like, bro, you're a doctor. You have doctor's money. You're gonna choose to sit there and stay in a place that makes you feel uncomfortable? Yeah, I really don't feel bad for you then. Yeah, exactly. And yeah, you're right. Yeah, yeah, Danny Bear's right. Lonnie and Eli come back on the show to sit there and take up space and oxygen. So they add a lot. They add a lot to the show. I mean, they could have did some interesting stories or continue to do some interesting stories, but they chose to sit there and focus on two characters that haven't been relevant in like fucking years. So that's cool, I guess. Nope, I would not be anywhere. Well, I'm just saying, TK, you probably wouldn't. She's cute. Well, this Eli Stan. He doesn't do anything. Eli and Lonnie does nothing for the show now. Listen, I wouldn't have a problem with them if they actually did stuff on the show. You know what I'm saying? Like if they were involved in some sort of story or whatever, I wouldn't have a problem with it. Them being there just to fucking be there is like, what do they do? Who did you want to see that? They don't. Okay, listen. Maybe it's just me because apparently I live in the fucking twilight zone or whatever. But ooh, they came back to visit. That's great. I'm glad I actually sat my ass down, woke up at 6 o'clock in the morning, sit there and watch them make a visit. You know what? That actually completed my whole day now. Okay, I'm done. 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 Well, I'm gonna let it go now. I'm gonna let it go. Apparently, people just like time wasters, but it's cool. It's cool. It's cool. It's cool. And why are we mad at Eli and not Lucas or baby snitching Jack and Jennifer? Or baby snatching Jack and Jennifer? It's like it's like I'm gonna let it go. I'm gonna let it go, dog Max. You remember years ago when I used to just like keep going. I'm like, I'm gonna let it go. Yeah, as long as they give him a regular, as long as they give him like a good story. Well, I mean, yes and no. Like they're involved in the whole custody thing, so they have a story coming, right? Now it's here's the thing. It's a story that people are annoyed with because they're annoyed with the characters. Um, but they actually have a story that's going, right? They're involved in this custody thing. Now people may not like the story or whatever, but they actually have a story and a purpose there. I don't really watch Days of Our Lives, but I would rather see Carrie, Belle, Sean, and Sammy back than Eli and Lonnie. Get those two goddamn pound wasters. Well, listen, they're gonna leave anyway. I need them to leave as soon as possible. Like, here's the thing. I'm not a huge Dio fan, but at least Dio actually has a story. You know who I'm okay. You know who I actually like right now? Fucking Jeremy. I'm liking Jeremy. I would much rather saw more Jeremy than sit there and see fucking. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But like, you know, Belle and Sean are on the show. Carrie has never been interesting, and Ashley isn't coming back full time. Then I said, Jeremy, do what? I don't know. I like his character. Um, and I don't know. I don't know. I think Peter August from GH is Steph Stalker. Oh yeah, because they did sit there and say that there was rumors to saying that the act that plays him is coming on GH. I mean, it's coming on Days of Our Lives. Because Mrs. Dillon has a place to stay, and because Willow told her that she can stay, and she doesn't. Apparently, she's living out of her car, Lashawn. She's living out of her car, and let me tell you something, Lashawn. The way this story is going to go is that I feel like Miss Dillon is going to have is going to have a thing for Will, and you know, I hope that she doesn't go crazy. Now, for anybody that watches B&B or whatever, I seriously think that Brooklyn finally lost her fucking mind. Katie wants to name her new company Logan. Brooke is like, that's my name. No, Brooke, that's not just your name. That's her name. That's Donna's name. That's not just your name. And Rich was pissing me off. Okay, Rich kept being the Debbie Downer, talking about, well, um, starting a fashion house is going to be a lot of money. It's going to be very challenging. And Katie with the clapback was like, yeah, I know that. Remember, I used to sit there and do your job. I ran the company. I literally did your job. And I feel like that's a way of being snarky, but without being like very like over the top bitchiness. And she kept on saying, "Well, you can't use my name." What were you talking? She also sat there and said that like Brooke was getting on my nerves. She's not the only Logan. She kept on just saying, "It's my name." I was like, "So you just want to act like Donna's not in the same goddamn room?" Like, really? And then she sat there and what did she say? She was like, "Oh, well, you're sponging off my success or something like that." Katie was like, listen, the only reason why you actually have your success still going is because of me. Now, I'm going to be honest, I'm not feeling Katie's hair, not feeling her hairstyle. Okay? I feel like that color is way too dark for somebody of her age. Yeah, that shit is way too black. I was like, girl, you are not in your 20s, you're not in your 30s. Okay. Like, what are we doing? It's supposed to be fashion. Nobody sat there and did like a little look down on this chick before she just went out. They just said fuck it. Like, but Brooke needs to get off her high horse. Needs needs to be put in her place. Yeah. And CK said Brooke tends to forget that Katie and Donna are her sisters. I just sat there. I was like, I couldn't believe that she literally sat there and said, "You can't take my name." When you have two other people in a fucking room with her name, Katie got Dollar Bill behind her for support. Yeah, and apparently, like, she don't got the support. Well, she don't got the support from Brooke. And Donna trying to be peacemaker, but like, she actually said that you don't want to sponge off my success. And then when Reg was like, "Well, that's the name that I always sit there and call her Logan," she was like, "Yeah, that's a pet name that you call my sister, but it's my name too." And you saw in the previews, it looks like that trademark or whatever the licensing rights fucking expired. Listen, let me tell you something. They are really showing their ass on how little they actually think of that. I love that, Danny. Um, Francis says Bill will make sure she succeeds to stick at the ridge. And this is why I sat there and said that B&B was actually better than GH. I already looked at GH. I was like, what the fuck am I actually like? That's why I sat there and said, fuck the nose. Y'all, listen, y'all can bother to draw. Why the fuck should I use one of her many other names that she acquired through her failed marriages? Brooke said that she doesn't want her sister Kay to use her last name. Yeah, she's sounding mad stupid. Like, girl, what are you talking about? I just like it was almost laughable that she kept just saying, "Well, you can't use my name. You can't use my name." I was like, "Girl, it's not just your name." Like, I always just sat there was like, who the fuck is writing this shit? Like, really? And granted, the ego on this chick, she was like, well, you're just not going to use my name. Okay, bye. I mean, like, listen, Brooke fucking threw down the gauntlet at that point. Like, that, and that's the thing. I was going to sit there and title it, Brooke versus Katie. But the fact that, like, Kyle was good, Kevin. I heard Bill sabotages Forrester Creations. I won't be against it. But, okay. What am I listening to? Um, See, just about, just or Katie could have been really petty and suggest that Brooke start going by the other pet name that OG Stephanie gave her. Yeah, like I heard replace Thomas with RJ Forster. Yeah, the guy who they don't even sit there and talk about. I just, honestly, tell you the truth, I'm not gonna lie, Kevin. It's almost laughable that Born and Beautiful has lasted as long as it has with their mostly shitty way of telling stories. This is why I always sit there and say, watch fucking Hollyoaks. So maybe I was gonna sit there and say maybe if I start reviewing it, but I mean, with these damn shorts, I don't know when I ever will. I hope Eric lets Katie use his new design. And honestly, he took all his new sketches. Yeah, and hire fucking Deke. He used to be really good in a transition as well. I just That's crazy. Okay, Cherry. Yeah, hire Deke. Like, listen, I'm at one point. I'm not gonna lie. I did jump to conclusions. It was like, oh, they just fucking got rid of all the gay people. But dumbass, I wish Prime Video would buy the rights to air Hollyoaks. That way, they be daytime Emmy eligible. They're not eligible because I guess they're on YouTube. I fucking love Hollyoaks. I'm not gonna lie, Max. Like, you and DC really sat there and talked it, got me into it. Yeah, I talked about it for a long time, and I was like, it does. I'm not gonna lie, it does take a bit of a learning curve, though. Not just like the language or how do you pronounce stuff, but some of the names you got to look up because they don't always sit there and say that person's names. Um, once you actually have to put in a bit of effort. I'm not gonna lie, even though it's only 20 minutes, you have to put in a bit of effort. But when it's good, I had gave up trying. I was so shocked. Yeah, I listen. I just one day I was like I knew I was gonna watch B&B, and I knew what I was getting myself into, and I was like, okay. And granted, I still watch B&B, but I was like, okay, you know what? Let's try this Hollyoaks thing because it used to be this show I used to watch. This British show I used to watch. Um, what was it called? God damn it! What now? I can't remember what the hell it's called. It wasn't Doctor Who, but it was a spinoff of Doctor Who. Doctor Who spinoff. Torchwood. Wow. Used to be this British show I used to watch. Used to fucking love it. It used to be called Torchwood. And I was like, you know what? There's shows. I was like, you know what? Listen, I was like, I love Torchwood, so I'll check it out. You know, I could never get into Doctor Who, but I'll watch the shit out of Torchwood. Though. What's good, Kaiwan? It's because the British soaps don't linger like American soaps do. Plus, anyone can die, and Hollywood's only three characters I think might slightly be protected. Slightly, and yes, that statement is 100% true. It does help. I'm not gonna lie, though. Like for me, it helps tremendously. The fact that it's 20 minutes and it's three episodes a week. Like they can pack. Here's the thing: they can pack a lot of story into an hour essentially, but three episodes a week. Also, I'm not gonna. Okay, now I'm gonna sit there and say this with a grain of salt. And I don't know if this is true or not. Mercedes, Tony, and maybe Darren will probably stay forever. All right, I'm gonna get this old college try. Albert Bostic with a K. Now I know that you know that Willow still loves the kids. It doesn't make sense now. They're trying to make AJ. Now they're trying to make Drew AJ. So now they don't make they. Not gonna lie, I kind of slightly threw up in my mouth trying to read that, but yes. Have a good night, Sean. I will sit there and see you tomorrow. Okay, go on. I listen. I give Dion so much props. Like I do. Oh my goodness, man! That man can sit there and just be reading your comments and be like, "Fucking champ." But I appreciate you being here, Pamela. Pamela says, "Yes, I finally agree." Kyle say he is done chasing after Claire, and that maybe they aren't meant to be, and that he will focus on his family and setting boundaries when it comes to Harrison. Yes. Also, let's everyone say what's up to Pamela Harrison. Pamela Harris. He was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna come and see Harrison." So he was like, "No, whoa, whoa, whoa. How about you just like make an appointment or whatever? He'll see you at Luna's house or whatever. Just talk to Martinez." Like, and then she had to sit there and literally chase that man. I could have swore she was out of breath by the time she got to him. It was so great. I mean, granted, the others, and don't get me wrong, the other stuff was good too, right? The other stuff was good too. Open 2026, Claire and Kyle embrace their ruthless side when they need to figure out who they are individually. Listen, like she got to a point where she was there trying to defend some of what Victor was there saying, and granted, listen, I don't necessarily have a problem with people having a different opinion or a different mindset, but I'm like, Obviously, dye drop. You mean Katie's hair? Yeah. It didn't look good on her. The hairstyle didn't really do much, but I could have accepted the hairstyle if it wasn't so like nah, yeah, like y'all can't reverse the clock on Katie. And you shouldn't. Listen, let her embrace her, you know what I'm saying? Like let her embrace her hair and everything like that. Like what are we doing at this point? Sometimes I'm not gonna lie the with the CBS soaps, I'm just like, do they even know what they're doing sometimes? Because people will swear up and down like, oh, that's what I was gonna sit there and say. Vertical dramas, right? Vertical soaps. Vertical soaps. Delmex, let me know if you're still in the chat. If not, I'll probably have to play this over the weekend. But yeah, they were talking about how um, they were going to start doing these vertical dramas that are like 15 minutes long. Um, and this is something that James is Smith they're talking about. I could have swore one of the actors that played Lucas was also talking about how he was in a vertical drama. And it's supposed to be like 15 minutes long, but like I say that with a grain of salt because it came from a sketchy source. I'm not even gonna sit there and say what the source was. But then when the channel was talking about it, people at the bottom like they were being so like stuck in their ways. I felt like they were talking to a bunch of 60-year-old people or 70-year-old people that was just like, no, I'm not going to give it a chance. I'm only going to watch the show that I'm watching. I'm not going to give anything new a chance. And it was just like, okay, I think you're kind of talking to the wrong crowd. Um, yeah, Carly, listen, Carly was being Mrs. Claus. Carly was being Mrs. Claus. I was like, okay. I was like, yo, Valentine, let me tell you something. Um, don't sit there and say she never did anything for you. Listen, I can't believe. Well, I'm not surprised, but I guess I am in a way though. Like Charlotte Smith did telling Charlotte Smith did telling Rockwell that she saw her dad, and now Rockwell has to sit there and lie to his mom about that. I'm like, Charlotte, and again, you had those little. Well, you had Leo pretty much kind of put Gio on the spot, and I'm like, Leo, we gonna have to sit there and we gonna have to sit there and send your ass back to the damn attic. Because like he just kept going and going and going, and I'm like, no one is. I was like, is no one going to sit there and try to shut this kid up? Like seriously. That here's the thing. I can't blame Wiley because Wiley's a kid, and granted, Wiley said something everybody in that room agreed with. Everyone was still sad that Monica was gone, and that they secretly wanted Gio to sit there and play the violin. They just didn't want to sit there and say it, but that's what they thought. Pamela, I have sat there and said, and I know what do they call them? Serena fans don't like this, but I'm really sitting there thinking that child could be Spencer's. I think that child could be Spencer's. I don't know if they ever did a DNA test to confirm that shit, But I think I think that child, it could possibly be Spencer's. At least Rocco's not supposed to act like a dick to his dad. He started to get on my damn nerves. Then it didn't see Sarah and Brady kiss on the mistletoe. Yeah, listen. I'm gonna sit there and say this much. I want Xander. I really want them to bring in somebody new for Xander instead of using Gwen as a constellation prize. Because um, although I'm not a huge fan of Gwen, I don't think anyone should be used as a constellation prize. I do want him to move on from Sarah. That would bring me a certain level of joy. Well, Jay Blue, it's actually funny. Lulu, when she was little, was actually brunette. Like, granted, this was years ago, and I think it was like in the '80s or whatever. Um, but I was watching some channel, and Luke came to go visit Lou. When Laura was there, he picks Lulu up, and Lulu, she's I don't know, like 5 or something like that, right, or 4, and she has the most darkest hair, and I laugh my ass off because, like, this is a new channel that's putting this stuff out, so new people are sitting there commenting on it. Then it's gonna get with Gwen till he finds out She she helped him to not get the hospital. Then it was in it, and then reunion was Sarah later next 2 years. So stupid. Ah, that's true. Dougie says, I think Rachel will see Brady and Sarah kiss during Christmas. Yeah, let's hope she doesn't sit there and decide to what you call it. You know, Merkel off again. TK said, yeah, Albert Lulu was a brunette when she was a toddler. Yeah, you know what? I would again. Because here's the thing, TK. For the member circle, we watch a lot of classic soaps. So sometimes we watch like classic General Hospital and stuff. And so they recommend on YouTube, they recommend like classic stuff. And I'm like, huh, she got brunette hair. That's kind of weird. Yeah, I just, like I said, I need Xander to sit down and move on. I would, and here's something else that just been bothering me. How the fuck did she get full custody? Like, dead ass serious, like, she's like, I'm so glad that Xander's not sitting there fighting me or anything like that. I'm like, why not? Why not? Why not sit there? Like, this isn't, my whole thing is like, this isn't about you at this point. Gabby is the one who tapes Xander confessing, hurting his brother for Tony, ultimately helping him lose Dimitri. Pamela says, I hate they put Hope back with Leon. They have so much potential with Hope, and who knows how much longer Matt is staying on hold. Listen, like I said, I'm glad that they're not actually just kicking Deke off. I mean, granted, people are hoping that Deke stays on the show. He works for Katie and everything like that. Um, because I'm not gonna lie, listen, when they decided to sit there and fire Deke, I was like, wait, hold on, let me get this straight. So you just gonna sit there and fire Deke? We don't sit there and see. Remy in a while. And then we see him in one scene and we're like, really? Xander feels guilty about what he did to his family. Honestly, he's doing too much. I just listen. I need him to sit there and fight for visitation rates with Victoria because listen, y'all two clearly should have never been a couple. Okay, that's been evident since day one. But like him not fucking with you does not mean that he should not be able to sit there and see his daughter. You know, and Sarah, if she wants to sit there and try to act on that high horse, just understand that she perpetuated this whole thing by lying to him that she knew that Philip forced that letter. And why was that? Because she didn't have any faith in him. Now that doesn't excuse the ass whooping that Xander gave um towards Philip. But like, girl, let's not sit there and try to act like you are completely innocent in this whole thing. The fact that he found out that way, found that a while, you jeopardized the company in that lack of time that was lost that you could have said something that could have prevented all this. He got pissed. He got close. Like I just, and I just feel he's just gonna sit there and be like, my Sarah, I still need my Sarah. Like, get the fuck out of here. They may not be the best brother or husband, but Bill's his daughter, and would give his life to her, and even Marlena knows it. I can't. Like, that's when I'm like, you need to sit there and fight for your daughter. Where was Chase? Hopefully in his goddamn room. I mean, he knows that most of those damn quartermains don't like him. The fact that he's still living in that damn house, I'm not sure about a miracle. Then say, yeah, Sarah could have stopped all this from that could have stopped that damn ass whooping because they got clothes. You know, granted, like I said, it doesn't justify him putting hands on on another person like that. Like Sarah act like she doesn't have like there's no accountability to be held. So something like, oh yeah, you know, I am sorry, but you did much worse. Like, yeah, but let's not act like you didn't ignite that though. Taylor says, I'm glad Diana said something to Kyle. Someone had to, if Claire's going to defend Victor, no matter what he does, make excuses and choose Victor over him. What kind of relationship do they have? Yeah. Yeah, like she wanted to go. Listen, let me tell you something, Pamela. She wanted to have this quote unquote hot girl summer. Okay, that's what she wanted to have this quote unquote hot girl summer, which I'm like, okay, fine, whatever. But like, I'm glad that he woke the fuck up. With like, not. I just feel that they're gonna regress this character, and his dumbass. And I hope his dumbass gonna sit there and start pining for her again once he sees that like she moved on, and that's gonna piss me off. But I'm still gonna have that episode on my fucking DVR for as long as possible. I respectfully disagree. I feel that his thing, and you know, listen, I live on an island by myself. And which is totally fine. But Chase, let me tell you something. Chase did what he felt was right, right? And he called Dante out on his bullshit as far as like, yo, listen, you may be protecting Michael even on the subconscious level. Okay? Even when the evidence was towards other people, you still stared it towards Willow. Okay? Curtis had just as much, you know, whatever to sit there and come at Drew. No, 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 no. Michael had the biggest, motive. Like, no, 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 no. You still want to sit there and pursue what you call it. You still want to sit there and pursue Willow and subconsciously protect your brother. So when he sat there and he suspended him, listen, I would chase. I would have sat there and threw that badge round the goddamn desk and walked out. Like nah. Like Alexa said, y'all chose to sit there and just focus on one person. Wardrobe having Cody's shirt match the blanket. This was right when he was dissing the investigation. Listen, he's a loyal friend, and he felt like there was a level of injustice, and he said something. I'm not gonna fault the guy for his loyalty, you know. Even say anything to Kane about seeing him kiss pillows. And okay, Pamela, this is okay. So this is my whole thing with Kane. Kane is annoying me in the sense that like he is constantly pining for Lily, but when he's with Phyllis, he's letting her get in his head. She's she's flirting with him. She's kissing up on him. For somebody who came to Genoa City to sit there and pretty much get back with Lily, you are doing everything you possibly can to self sabotage every time you hang out with his Phyllis. Like, what is she like, poison ivy or something like that? She walks into a room, her perfume just hits you, and you're just reduced to a fucking idiot. Like, bro, that kiss thing, that whole kiss should have never have happened. He should have told that chick to kick Rod to the outside the minute that Lily started to warm up. Now, personally, I don't understand how any man on a fucking planet can sit there and deal with somebody who is just constantly giving him attitude. Even the hot girls have a certain even the hot girls have a certain fucking limit. But like you finally are getting her back, and Phyllis walks in. She's like, "Oh, I want to sit there and work with you." You should have sat there and told that chick to kick rocks without socks. You are a fucking moron. Kane is better with Phyllis. The sad thing is, Danny Bay, even if that's true, he's still he's still sitting there pining over why, why, why get back with the guy who cheated on her? I mean, Danny, would you get back together with somebody who cheated on you? Which I'm not gonna lie, Daniel was laughable. He sat there, he made all these little snarky ass comments. Bro, you don't have a fucking job. You are the equivalent of a fucking bum. Here's the thing. This shit was laughable. He's not there talking to Phil. It's like, oh well, I'm just gonna go ironically, and his business is gonna blow up in his face, and he's gonna be a failure. Da 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 da. Like, bro, you can't call somebody else a failure when you don't have a fucking job. If it wasn't for your daughter, you wouldn't even have a reason to get out of the fucking bed. Like, what are you talking about? Seriously, I found that shit so laughable that Daniel was sitting there talking about Billy, who has a job, who has money, bro. Who is taking care of your daughter on a financial level? Because a damn sure, I don't think it's you, unless Heather actually had you know, a life plan or some shit like that. But my point is, a bum does not get to sit there and talk shit to someone who's employed because Daniel is Lily's true love, not Kane. So would you get back together with somebody who cheated on you? I mean, I just, I don't. I feel like that question wasn't answered, but okay, I guess we just want to accept that. Phyllis needs therapy to deal with all her trauma from me. That's true. That's actually true, CK. Yes. You know, true love doesn't sit there and cheat on you with somebody else, but what do I know? He constantly blames his mom for things that are not his damn business. Broham needs a job and stop constantly judging his mother, which, I mean, don't get me wrong, it's just so that every couple has. Okay. Um, you know what? Danny Bear has an amazing sense of humor. I love it. No, Danny Bear, I can learn a thing. I can learn a couple of things from you. But yeah, like I said, I just like, and he sent there trying to get with Tessa. Which, by the way, what does Tessa actually do? Like, does Tessa even work? Oh no, Tessa has a job. It's Daniel that doesn't have a job. That's what it is. Tessa has a job. Daniel is the fucking bum. Talking about I want to sit there and play the guitar. I was like, the guitar is not gonna fucking put food on the goddamn table. What the hell? Orthodox said there's no way that Michael did this. If he had wanted to kill Drew, Drew would be dead. Michael was too concerned about being with his children to take. Yeah, that's true. Damn, how many times is Lily going to leave the show to have kids? She's almost as bad as the chick from D&B. Oh, what is her name? What is the chick from D&B? The actress that plays Stephanie. Jacqueline. Yeah, what is Jacqueline like? Baby number 9 or some shit. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I stopped following Jacqueline Woods. And you know, granted, this is no. Oh, fuck me sideways. This is no offense. This is no like offense to like pregnant women, but like I don't need to sit there and see another picture of her pregnancy. Like I just don't. And that's fine. Listen, she wants to post her pregnancy journey and stuff like that. That's cool. I no no like just no. Like girl, you can post whatever you want. I just no. Yeah, I think she had like 5 7 kids. I grew aware of the whole who shot Drew storyline. Well, the sad thing is that like Drew did die, right? I mean, listen, if you did something where it's like who shot Jr. Well, fucking Jr. died on Dallas. Drew got a shot in his back and he's hobbling around on the cane. Like, yeah, you're gonna go to jail for attempted murder. I would have rather this person go to jail for actual murder, but like I guess that's whatever. Bill and B&B has 9 kids, all but one are boys. Yeah, that's the roles that we sit there and play in the universe, Darby. There was options she could have sat there and took. But I'm sorry, Darby. I keep forgetting that most people actually have a heart. And that's a good thing. Oh, you fucking asshole. Audra will get her sons from visions, yes. Listen, don't get me wrong. Look, let me tell you something. Archer's a shit starter, and usually that shit annoys me. But because Claire was acting like such this like I'm just gonna string them both along and just la da 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 da. Like, I don't think that she was trying to string them along on purpose. She kept them the same, like, I don't think she was meant to trying to string them along on purpose. Um, but she kept me on this fantasy train of like, well, I'm still trying to figure things out, and I may not be ready for full commitment, so I just kind of want to sit there and discover myself. And I'm like, okay, cool, discover yourself. You can discover yourself without him. I love the dumbfounded look on her face because here's my whole thing. I always sit there and say this: a woman is in control. A woman is in control of her body. A man is in control of his time. Oh, damn, Darby. But no, like seriously, a woman is in control of her body. A man is in control of his time. Right. That's why I said about Electra. And I know it sounds bad, and I don't give a shit. But like, when I kept saying, well, if he's really the one, then he will sit there and wait. Why? He doesn't have to wait. He has options. He can sit there and be with anybody else if he wants. It doesn't make him less of a man because he didn't want to wait. Red is a conniving. Okay. But Visions, I will sit there and say this much. I am looking, I'm liking this Audra story with Holden. Because now you found out that Holden accidentally killed that guy, in self defense and everything. But Audra stole $500,000 from this guy who was walking around with a $500,000 traveler's check. And she was grateful, so she gave him some money. And that was cool, you know. But like, Leslie. You mean Leslie from Beyond the Gates? See, Ryan, when you say things like that, I'm just gonna tell you right off rip, I'm just gonna wind up ignoring you. I'm just gonna wind up ignoring you. So, what happened, Ryan? You took a nap or something? Where the hell were you? Almost forgot you were actually still. Well, I almost forgot you was here. Oh, fuck me. Okay. All right. As fun as this has been, I'm gonna end the stream here because I do gotta wake up at like 4 o'clock in the morning. It's like, why not? But for my members, I'll be back tomorrow. If you are not a member, make sure you click the link that is in the pinned comment. Should be in the pinned comment. Become a member. It's a lot of fun. We got some fun stuff planned this weekend. So you definitely want to be a part of that. But yes, with that being said, I'm going to end the stream here. But I'll be back on Wednesday. For everybody else, members, I will sit there and see y'all tomorrow and Sunday. And yeah, thank you everyone for rocking with me tonight. Could have been anywhere, chose to be here, and I am very grateful. So thank you. Yeah, Pamela, they've been doing a lot back and forth. Well, for obvious reasons. But yes, have a good night, Danny Bear. Have a good night, Pamela. Have a good night, Ron. Have a good night, LaShawn. Have a good night, CK. It was great to see you as always. Have a good night, Dolomedics. Have a good night, LaShawn, Sean, Amy, Cherry Ice Cream, Queen of the South, and anybody else who I forgot. You know exactly who you are, and I will sit there and see you on the next stream. Yep, I figured that, Vision. I was like Leslie. I was like, okay, I had to think about that for a while, but yeah, it was great to have you, Vision. So thank you for coming through tonight. And also, everyone say what's up to Vision. Have a good night, Blackmon, aka Mr. GQ, and I will sit there and see you on the next stream. Hit that like button, people, because it really does help. Jonathan! Oh my god, Jonathan, where the hell have you been at? It's good to see you, but where you been at? Okay, that when you sat there and said the Wicked Witch of the Crest, Pheromone Crest. It was good, Jonathan. How was yours? I'm actually about to end the stream tonight, but my Christmas was actually really good though. So I hope you had a good Christmas time. I feel bad because like you just got here and I'm already like, yeah, I'm just gonna sit there and end the stream. But we do got some fun stuff going on this weekend. And you know what, Jonathan, I will sit there and say this much. I got a video that I'll sit there and show you on Sunday when you come in. It's a concept idea I was working on. So don't say what it is because I think you have an idea. But I'll show it to you on Sunday. I'll make sure I upload it onto StreamYard. Yes, I'm gonna end the stream here. And members, I'll be back Saturday and Sunday. I'll see you on the next stream. So, Jonathan, obviously make sure you're here on Sunday for not just what we got going on, but for that as well. Okay, I feel like that's a bot or a Twitch helper or something. Anyway, I'll see you on the next stream. Laters.